Hello everyone. Let's start with part 4 of Mother's Day. Doris Pearson was going out for a date with her boyfriend Shirley Spence. Now Mrs. Pearson, in order to make fun of Doris, calls Shirley Spence a buck-teeth and half-witted man. Alright? And hearing this, Doris gets very angry. Mrs. Pearson was hardly bothered about her anger. It did not affect her. She was telling her daughter that had she been at her age, she would have never agreed to go out for a date with a person like Shirley Spence. She would have surely found someone better. She did not think Shirley Spence was worth a person to go for dating with. Understood? And Doris gets really hurt after hearing such a thing from her mother, and she starts crying. Okay? Doris started crying. She left the room, the living room. She ran towards her own room. It did not bother Mrs. Pearson. She chuckled and she was arranging the cards. Now, as you know, this person was not Mrs. Pearson. She was actually Mrs. Fitzgerald. And the purpose was to teach these children, these ill-mannered, spoiled children, a good lesson. That's why she was being so rude and strict with her. So Mrs. Pearson continued sitting and was arranging the cards when entered her son, Cyril Pearson. Cyril Pearson tried to be very smart the moment she entered, like her sister only. She asked her mother if she has prepared tea or not. Mother said no, she had not prepared the tea. The son asked why. Mother said she did not care. That's why she did not prepare. Cyril Pearson asked her mother whether she was not feeling well, or was any problem with her health. Was there any problem with her health? Mrs. Pearson said she was feeling very nice, and it was the first time in her life that she was feeling so well. This made Cyril Pearson angry. He said if she was not even having any health issues, then why she didn't bother to prepare tea for him? What was she actually planning? And Mrs. Pearson said she did it just for a change. Every day she used to prepare things for them. Every day she used to carry out their orders. Now for one day she wanted a change. Let them do their work on their own. Let them take things which they want on their own, she said. Cyril Pearson asked his mother that if his mother feels that she will by saying so, by talking in such a manner, she will escape doing all the work, then she is wrong. She must come out of her changed mood and she must start doing the work as she was accustomed to, as she used to or was doing previously. Understood? Because Cyril said he was in a hurry. He had no time. He hadn't much time left. He was getting ready. He had to go out in the evening. The mother said he might be busy, but she is having a plenty of time. She is not in a hurry at all. Now, Cyril, like his sister, again he had given an order to his mother, that she must keep out his dresses ready that he was going to wear in the evening. And Mrs. Pearson had promised that she will do it. And if any of the shirt or any trouser or anything else needs any repair, mending, she will do that even. Cyril asked his mother whether she has taken out the dress or not. The mother said she did not bother to take it. She did not remember it, and so she didn't take it out. Cyril got angry. Cyril said, why did she promise in the morning then? She had told in the morning that she will do it. Mrs. Pearson said, what she did in the morning, now she says she does not want to do it. It's her wish, it's her life, it's her wish, her desire. What she wanted to do in the morning, she does not want to do in the evening. That's why she hasn't taken out his dress. Cyril Pearson told his mother that that's a very nice way of talking. That it's my wish, my desire, I don't want to do it, I won't do it. And then he said that suppose all of them starts behaving like that with the mother, if all of them starts talking like that they don't want to do it, so they won't do it, then what will happen? Mrs. Pearson took the point, that particular point she took very seriously, and she said that is the way she is being treated by them. She told her son that is the exact way in which they talk with her. No one cares about her, no one bothers for her. Every time every time they are behaving with her in such a manner as if she is their servant, as if whatever they are doing to her, they are doing an obligation. And she told her son that even at their workplace, she knows very well what kind of work they do. Every time they go to the union of the workers, of the employees, if the management asks them to do something and they oppose the decision of the management, they bring out protest, marches. Now she said she has joined the moment. Which moment? The moment of protesting. She said she now protest. She will protest against this injustice that has been done on her, which she is suffering from for so long. She won't carry out their orders like a servant anymore because she does a lot of work. She does not get any salary in return, any wage in return, and not even a thanks from them, which she so much expected. Alright? So Mrs. Pearson, in a very strict tone, in a very serious tone, talked with her son and asked her that he should not try to be very smart. Cyril Pearson got surprised. He didn't know what to say. He asked his mother what was going on. Mrs. Pearson said changes. When he asked what was going on, Mrs. Pearson said changes taking place. In the meantime, Doris returns back. When the brother, Cyril Pearson, was still present there, Doris returns back. And this time there is a change, a little bit change in her appearance. Her eyes are red because she had been crying. She was wearing her new dress and she was getting ready. Mrs. Pearson, the moment she looked at her daughter, she said that she was looking horrible, very terrible, with her red eyes and that type of expression on the face, looking very sad, miserable. And then she said, again she made fun of Doris by saying that even she would not have that kind of expression on the face even if she was going with for a date with Shirley Spence. Doris started shouting at her mother and told her that she should not say anything about Shirley Spence, and she said that anyhow she was not yet dressed up completely. She was simply getting ready, and if she was looking miserable, that was the fault of her mother only. She made her cry. Alright, students, this much in this fourth part. We will continue with the rest in the next video.